Okay, hello everybody. This is CBSi presents Tales from the Flip Side number 64 or 65. I think we're on 65. So today we're going to talk about movie spoiling etiquette. And as usual, everybody knows, go to comicbookinvest.com for all your speculation needs. CBSi swag for cool T-shirts and hats and all that other good stuff. I'm Dino, and we got Steve Eisman back, boys. So everybody kind of stopped me in the over the weekend, and I had the Red Wings sweatshirt on, and everybody thought it was like the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I said, let's talk about it in a year when we don't make the playoffs for the second time in a row.
Yeah, I was about to say you're in the same boat as me down here.
Yeah, so I mean it's a good thing, but I'm in the minority, and I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. But boys, introduce yourselves.
Yeah, this is Scotty Too Hottie, and I'm a Flyers fan, so don't even get me started.
Oh God, at least I don't have a horrible mascot.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck?
You know what I think sometimes? I think that it's nice not to make the playoffs. That way you don't have to hate not making the playoffs again.
Well, the problem is like we could have had a good top pick, and we messed it up by going winning the last 7 of 10 or something. So we lost Jack Hughes too. So
yeah, well. I'm Brian M. out here in non-playoff land again.
Yeah, we're all golfing already.
Well, this is John Z, the only one not paying attention to hockey at all. So enjoy.
Good for you.
What's going on, guys? It's Brian, Superman's Comics, and I'm kind of watching the Caps right now. But we got the podcast going on, so that's good too.
Do you see Obi wants that kid out though? That was awesome.
Oh my god, dude! He fucking.
it's like you're 19 years old, and I understand you want to like do something for your team. I'm a hockey player. I understand it, but why are you gonna go after the guy who? He's like a legend, and he's crazy.
Yeah,
Ovi though, like you don't poke that that bear.
And then the coach was like, "Oh, Ovi went too hard on him." Could you believe that? The coach was like, "He should let him."
He could have went harder.
Yeah, I know. he let him down really softly too at the end of the whole thing. So, but we got a guy who just joined. You want to introduce? We're all in introduction still.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? It's Ben S. I'm late.
How's the lawn going?
The lawn? Yeah, it's too much to cut.
Yeah.
Too much. Nice.
You know, it's all those. It's that big mansion you have since you write for the CBSi top 10, man.
All that top 10 money.
Top 10 money you got.
Just makes it rain with that top $10.
Right.
You know your shill eBay account that you have all the hot top 10 books on before they go out. Oh God.
Ben S is secretly the Chinese seller that has every book at great prices.
He's just selling ASM 300s for $42.
Right.
Free shipping in China.
Right.
All right, boys. So as usual, we start out with pickups. I don't know if they're scarce this week, but anybody got pickups or want to show? Or
I got one book.
Okay. Go ahead.
This isn't anything special. I just really like this cover.
Oh, that's a nice one.
That is a nice one.
David Mack.
He does a lot of really good variants in that run.
Justice League 45. It's Supergirl variant. It's pretty badass.
Yeah, part of that Brightest Day run. That's
there's a lot of one and I guess they're one of 10 variants.
Yeah.
Same run as the Lobo, right? Sort of.
Yeah.
You eBay that one?
Mm-hmm. No, actually, you know what? I eBayed and saw that it was my comic shop, and then I bought it off my comic shop.
Oh, right, of course.
Always check my comic shop because their listings have the their name right next to the slab.
Yeah, I want to.
It's always cheaper to buy from them.
I wish they share how they do that. I wish we could do that.
They probably have
They have a million listings.
Well, maybe we can have a million listings.
Yeah, I think all the big ones have that, like Probstein and.
It's probably like watermarking.
Yeah, David Adams Card World has that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Super World I think has that too.
Anybody else notice nor had my comic shop buy from them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had two this not too long
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
and
filler
I've
stuff.
seen books disappearing off eBay and then showing up as my comic shop stock, not consignment.
Yeah,
in the last little bit.
Yeah.
The
Graham
world
Cracker
is
bought a
the
book
world
off
is
of
going
us.
crazy, and cats and dogs are friends, and the world is reversed.
Graham Crackers bought a book off of us.
Yeah, Graham Crackers did.
They, but we used to live off buying off my comic shop and then reselling. Now they're doing it off of us.
Well, and it's funny too because we fucked up on Graham Crackers and sent them the wrong book, but they were totally cool with it. So it's funny.
To be fair, it was a easy mistake.
Yeah, it was like
Did you list the variant and send them the regular?
No, it
was like a second printing or something. It was something. It was like a second.
It was weird where there was like one had the barcode and one didn't, but they looked identical.
Yeah, they were totally cool with it.
The barcode was just in a different spot, I think.
Yeah. Huh. And they were cool about the whole thing. I was like, dude, we'll just set up a return where you return it and we'll ship it out to you. And they were the nicest guys about it too. So
that's good.
Yeah.
It's probably because they've done it 100 times.
Oh, I'm sure, dude. And they were the nicest guys about the whole thing. And they actually, it's funny, eBay returned their money. And then I was like, hey, can you pay me that money real quick? And they actually did it for me. So
well, it's fun. My wife this week's like, sure, I'm buying a lot from Graham Crackers this week because I never do. And then this week I bought, I think, 3 things.
Ooh. Graham Crackers is underrated. I mean, you have to search a lot through it. Like, I know that's what a couple of us do, is search through a lot of that stuff. It's obviously not a lot to find. Like, it's hard to find books there, but you have to, if you scroll, like, wait every couple of months and just scroll for a night, you can find some deals.
Same with Gmart.
Yeah, Gmart's a pain, dude. Especially when
you gotta remember what your login account will.
Oh, dude, and it's terrible. It's like, dude, and I go back in that email because it's not like you set it up. It's like an account number, and I can't.
Oh yeah,
number. It's
I had to save it in my notes in my cell phone because I gave up on trying to remember.
Yeah, and the other thing too is if you see something from Gmart, you just can't copy the link. You have to get the share the URL to make a static link for it. It's terrible, man. Props to them because I made a crap ton of money off of them, but still, I mean, it's terrible.
You gotta want it.
Yeah,
it's not the easy hunt.
He's a good guy. I mean, I don't have.
There's still better sites than Mile High is a 50-year-old dinosaur.
Yeah, I just give up on that whole site, man. It's like some books are like ridiculously priced, and other books it's just weird. It's like they have a New Mutants '98 like a VF for like $1,000. It's like, okay, dude.
Yeah, but in fairness, he does have like 50 and 60% off, pretty much codes almost at all times. So
yeah, I mean, I got about 121 from him. So,
but it's just random luck, and you can't like search it effectively. You just gotta like hop around and
Oh yeah, you type in Batman. To actually find the actual Batman series will take you an hour.
A Mile High is pretty bad too.
That's what we said.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah, it's terrible.
They're nightmares.
I
do love when you get the dot matrix printer paper receipt from the Commodore 64 we're running off of.
Yeah, at least Nucadia shows you who packed it.
Dude, those are nice. They give you a picture and they're fancy.
At least, like you said, I bet you they have like an old Commodore, like you said, but it says like a big like label on the top of it says "Do not unplug this computer."
Yeah, it's fantastic.
They bought 10,000 reams of paper back in 92 and still haven't run out.
That's why he stopped going to San Diego. That printer paper was getting expensive.
Well, when he runs out of paper, they'll get a new one and they'll upgrade.
So I ended up picking up a couple books. This is a book I've talked about before, but I grabbed 2 more for $1 a piece, basically, and the homage covers of Spider-Man 1 are just, some of them are really, really expensive, and sometimes you get lucky and find them for really cheap. This is one to keep an eye out for. I love how he's got the little L's all over him.
What is it? Lethargic?
Lethargic Lad Lethargic Comics Weekly number 3. I keep on forgetting that.
Never seen that one.
Yeah. So, and it's pretty tough to come by in the wild. This and Scatterbrain number 1 are the 2 toughest ones that I have a problem finding. And then I finally picked up this book, which I thought this morning it was the first professional or first comic art from Frank Cho, and it turned out I was wrong, and Topher schooled me a little bit on that. This is not his first published work. It's his first published work was like a pinup in a book called Freaks from Malibu, Freex, Freaks number 10 from Malibu.
I might have that one for you.
That's his first actual published art. This is his first cover. And I think it might be his first professional work too. Can't remember exactly.
What's that book?
This is Cave Woman. It's called Cave Woman, the mature version, and yeah,
there's a unmature version.
I'll tell you what, he definitely beefed up his women as he went along.
He did.
She doesn't have
the thighs are too thin for Cho.
Yep.
But for that being one of his earliest,
J. Scott Campbell, a lot less Cho.
For that being like some of his earliest work, that's pretty damn good for that early in the game.
Should I get that for the shark and octopus covers for my boy?
Yeah.
My wife would disapprove.
And then I got this in the mail. I love when you get things like this in the mail and totally forgot about them, and it just becomes that much cooler. This is the Batman Who Laughs, the Grim Knight #1 homage to the Todd McFarlane detective cover.
Yep.
And I guess I ordered it 9.8 signature series on their site, and it showed up today. Or the other day. It is signed by Philip Tan, who did the cover.
Nice.
So
cool.
And then one last real quick thing that just I said it. I think the last 3 consecutive shows about having issues with eBay and me being an idiot, and I don't know if I did it again, but I'm just getting tired of having stuff like this happen. I ended up buying the Conan the Barbarian #248, which is the decapitation cover.
Oh.
And there was a 9.8 on eBay, and I think it was like a buy it now for $80.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I got it, I don't know if you guys can see the top edge of that.
It's kind of hard. Is it the distributor marking? I can't see.
No, it basically the whole
cover.
The cover dropped, and the book is, and I think it's because the staples got popped on them.
Oh.
Yeah, and I don't know if it happened during the shipping, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
But they may not have noticed, and then the shipping caused it to shift.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just gonna probably end up chalking it up as a.
I would just return that one.
Yeah.
But it's a bummer.
Yeah.
But that's a kick-ass cover, so
it is.
I have not seen that one.
Find that, yeah.
So are the staples? Can you tell in the staples that it's moved, or is that just how it's made?
It looks like it's moved from when you look at the staples. I mean, I'll try and get some good pictures and throw them up, but it looks like literally especially because if you look at the top staples, let me see if I can get a good. There we go. No,
doesn't look like it popped though.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It
looks more like maybe it just shifted in there.
Yeah,
it could just be misaligned too.
I don't know. You would think that a misaligned would a misaligned book get a 9.8 grade?
Yeah, because it's production.
It's production issue.
Ah, gotcha.
It could be because I don't think those cases are known for like staples or shifting. I mean, the book can shift sometimes, but I don't think it's known for gripping it very tight.
Yeah, they're not tight because you can literally just pry those open with your fingers.
Yeah. Did you go to the CGC site and look at grader notes?
No, I need to do that.
There's not going to be grader notes on a 9.8.
No.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They barely put them up for 9.6 and 9.4s.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens, but my eBay karma has gotta change.
I don't have any pickups, but I do. I got a slight story, I guess. So I went to this show. It's a toy and comic show, I guess, and more toys and comics. I didn't look for GI Joes. I should have. It was very small. It was like in some like VFW hall. There was like a couple books. Some guy wanted a Flash 120. Was it 29? Is that the Zoom first Zoom? Professor Zoom 129.
139.
139. Yeah. And he wanted like $100 for it, but it was B. I mean, this guy had decent prices. I mean, like Joker, he had a Joker 1 cover that was really nice, and he wanted like $100 for it. I didn't pull the trigger. I was like, yeah.
Nice intro, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah, the gout is worth it.
The cow is worth it. So I don't know. I mean, boys, I thought I was gonna score some deals there, but there was like maybe 3 comic guys there, and then a lot of toy guys with. I was gonna slaughter.
Were you the first one in the door?
Yeah, close enough. They had a lot of toy guys there who had like 1 box. I was like, those toy guys with 1 box.
Yeah, that's where you can usually do well.
Yeah, and I didn't at all. I paid $3, and then I bought like $20 worth of comics for my girl. That's about it. So, but that's my pickups. I wasn't gonna show them. They're just group books, so nothing too crazy. So, but hey, we got a full show today. 7 people. I like it. So, anybody else got some pickups? Any other pickups, Paul?
Yeah, let me grab it. I fell into some groupthink.
Fresh to death haircut.
Yeah, you got that thing going, baby. I like it.
Yeah, I'm closing some deals.
Telling me bad shit going on.
Closing some deals. Paul, you know what's funny? Paul, hold on. Paul's trying to be like me with the old fade cut.
Oh yeah.
So,
my guy's getting better.
you guys.
Got the young pup of the barbershop. He's training up.
Video 8 of 10 on the YouTube barber series.
That's one of the rules I read is when you go into a barbershop, you don't take the first guy who they send you to because that's the inexperienced guy with no clientele. So that's the guy I took. Got to give the young guys a shot.
The funny thing is, you looked it up on Google.
Is there a Paul's problem like Floby story floating around somewhere?
You mean when I got kicked out of the other barbershop? Yeah, there's a story behind that. But anyway, this is the book I bought.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead.
So I don't know. I mean, it was believable spec. Why not?
Believable spec. That's
This is good.
That's my new terminology. I want to put everything as believable spec.
Mel's got FOMO. I got believable spec.
That
sounds like a good show. I'd subscribe to that podcast.
Believable spec.
So someone on the Facebook posted, and I think we talked about it, but I bought the 9.8 is what I'm getting at. Okay. Star Wars Dark Empire #5.
Oh,
I didn't show that, right?
That's cool.
That is definitely believable spec.
It's based off the Palpatine's laugh at the end of the most recent Star Wars trailer. And so on the slab it says, and I think I read this last show, but that Palpatine kills himself and through the dark side enters the body of his clone. So it's Palpatine's clone versus Luke Skywalker.
Did you get it for $60 or less?
Good question.
He doesn't even know.
I don't even know. Survey
That's
says
a hard 9.8.
That is.
Those dark horses don't.
I got it for $75 shipped. So I guess if you take shipping off,
That's not bad.
The ballpark. So I don't know. I haven't relisted it yet. I might wait for another trailer. Maybe they'll show his face in a trailer. I don't know. Why not?
150? What are you going to put it up for? 150? Double your money?
Yeah, why not? 150 OBO, maybe 175 OBO.
It's still a good book to have, regardless. I think.
Yeah,
that whole series is good.
I do have some very good books coming, and I think next week I'll be able to show both of them, or all 3 of them off. So
we got big grading orders, so I'll show those off when I get them.
You're gonna overshadow me next week. I give you a week heads up.
Okay.
That's all I got though. Next week though, I got some good stuff. I'm excited.
I bet it's Ninja Turtle stuff.
No, it's not.
TNT #1.
All rivets. So many rivets. I bought a rivet gun. I'm putting rivets in CGC cases.
There you go.
Rivets Incorporated.
I bet you bought a lot of CBCS books, like a lot of them. For like, I bet you didn't even buy 9/8s. I bet you bought like 9/2s.
Yeah, Sean will press them though. They're 9/8s. Sean will get me. I believe in Sean.
Oh goodness.
Oh god.
He can press color breaks right out, everybody.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he
Yeah.
told me.
He uses
Well,
a marker. It's fine.
Next quarter, I'm buying my own press.
No,
Oh,
God.
jeez.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna send my first order to Paul and see what happens.
That's a web series on its own.
Yeah. Oh,
Paul
man,
burns his house down.
Paul's problems and pressing services.
He forgot to take the book out overnight.
Paul's pressing problems.
Yeah, leave it in there all night like I did my shirt at Scott's dryer.
Oh my god.
Oh. Anybody else have pickup? Stein?
I got a few.
Oh goodness. Okay.
God.
Oh,
Z's trying to get in before Stein.
I know.
Yeah, right. Who knows how that's gonna go? I got one that Scotty hooked me up with the link to, which was actually Graham Catcurst. The Buffy the Vampire Slayer Boom #4 Frisson variant, the color one.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
Yeah,
the
I like the color one better than the one in 50.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
it's the American Pie chick.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a big fan of Allison Hannihan, so why not? There's some pretty racy covers floating
You're
around.
storing that next to the lotion, are you?
Well, not too close, but close
Saving
enough.
that for later.
Yeah, exactly. Picked up I've got a new comic shop in town, and they've got some stuff crazy price and some stuff great prices.
I'm gonna come see you to see this comic shop.
Yeah, raid that shop.
Scanned the wall and picked up a nice key.
Ooh,
Should
I've been
be
looking for those.
37 First
Yeah.
Metal Man.
I
I
sold
mean-
mine to Sad Junk, dude, and I regret it every day. And I
It's
bought it
not-
for cheap.
It's a book to maybe buy right now. It's kind of
It is.
down in general.
It's underrated.
Yeah, I mean,
They're supposed to come out with that movie, right? Wasn't Metal Man movie coming out?
Yeah,
I think it was rumored to be in Man of Steel or Justice League a little bit too. There've been a lot. I don't know. It's a nice copy. It's not high grade, but it presents her well, good color, not a lot of eye appeal issues. But it may be one of the few things that's not sky high at the moment. For the strange pickup of the week, I picked up a mini. I don't even know if it's a comic. I'll call it a mini comic book thing.
Ooh.
Hello Buddies #48. It's probably
Hello, indeed.
It makes your hands look massive.
6x3.5, 6x4. But I think the only reason it popped up on my search history is it's an early the Golden Age Black Cat, like a Black Cat Westerns, Black Cat Mysteries, Black Cat whatever. So it popped up. I saw the cover. I didn't know it was a mini comic when I bought it. I wasn't paying attention. And, it's got a little bit of a good girl kind of vibe to it. So I bought it.
Yeah, she's a good girl. All right.
You're gonna get it graded?
I don't think so. It's not that high grade. It just looks nice.
Oh.
I don't know. Anything Golden Age that's a little bit racy and cheap, I think I'll just buy it just in case.
Cool.
Why not? Got 2 slabs from Comic Link. This one
Boy, you love
Really?
Comic Link.
really wasn't one I was looking to buy. It was just kind of a throw on. But why not? I picked up DC Superhero Girls,
Hey, I have that one too, I
the
think.
Halloween Comic Fest issue.
Yeah. It's underrated, man. Superhero Girls #1s they're underrated, man.
This is not the first one. This is that second one, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was like $20, and I'm like, I'll give it a home for $20. I love the DC cartoon stuff. So
Yeah, that's a good one, man.
the book I was actually going for, and I'm happy with it, but it also caused me to hesitate on another book I should have bought. I bought this on Comic Link, and then 3 days later, a 6.0 came up at a good price, but I was a little bit licking my wound, so I hesitated on buying it. But I got a WoW 38, which is a classic Mary Marvel kind of flying in the clouded sky cover. I would think this is probably one of her top 3 covers. Just kind of the coloring, the background. It's just really solid. It actually is cover swiped in one of the later Shazam runs. I'm not thinking which one it is, but
Is
you
there,
can
is there a foreign market for Mary Marvel or WoW comics or no?
what do you mean?
Like, are there foreign editions? Is there foreign
They probably exist a few places, I'm sure. The UK, I don't know about Canada and maybe Australia. I don't think you'll find it beyond those, just because most of those markets were not around that far back.
And you just plug in WoW Comics, or is there an secrets you can't share on the air?
He can't fill you in on his parameters.
I don't think you want to do WoW Comics, honestly, unless you filter it down, just
There's a lot
because
of
there's
them,
so
dude.
many people that list their listings with WoW Comics, da-da-da.
Yeah,
I'm usually just hunting under Mary Marvel. A little less crap comes up. So that's it.
Okay. Anybody else? Going once? Nothing?
Not a thing.
Oh, wow.
What? Anything in the mail for next week? You pump something like me?
I got something next week, I think, if where do I buy it from? If my comic shop delivers it to me.
Yeah, you got to say, I got these 3 books, great books for next week, and then not show up.
Well, I can do that, too. I do have 3 books, though. It's funny. I got 3 books. Me and Z were talking about it. It's going to be actually pretty cool. It's a little different, too. So I'll just leave it at that.
All right. We got a big movie coming out this weekend, and we got a very important PSA.
PSAs.
Don't be a dick and spoil anything. If you see it first, you don't have to be a dick and ruin it for everyone else.
And please, when people are saying, like, when you're talking to people, I've had this happen a bunch of times to me. If you're saying, "Hey, you gonna go see the movie?" and I say, "Yeah, I'm going on Sunday," don't just like go, "Well, I'm seeing it on Thursday." It makes you look like a dick. Like, okay, not everybody's gonna go on Thursday night when it opens at midnight or whatever.
I got to work on Friday. Fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really. I hate people. I don't want to sit in a crowd where half the people are on their phones or screaming at the TV or at the movie.
I'm gonna go Wednesday afternoon, probably.
I'm going at 8 a.m., dude, on a Monday or on a Saturday or Sunday or whatever. I'm going at 8 a.m.
I saw it last week. I made it. I made the movie.
You made it.
You wrote it, directed.
Robert Downey Jr. is my neighbor. We are
Yeah.
yeah, I did put PSA on the Facebook page. Seriously, no spoilers. No, hey, this happened. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. We'll nuke you.
The
From all
banhammer
CBSi.
will come
Yeah,
out.
you will.
If you see somebody post it, send a link to that or notify an admin so that we can catch it fast. We don't want it ruined either.
And I don't have a time parameter on this. Like, okay, after 2
I
weeks.
think a week is fair.
Yeah, I think so too.
2 years if there's spoilers.
wait till I see it. That's the parameter.
Yeah, it's got to come out on Laserdisc.
Yeah, I mean, just be considerate, and I don't know. Maybe after a week we'll do like a spoilers here only post, but that probably won't even work. So
No, I think a week is fair. You get through that first weekend and in a few days.
Yeah.
It might be one of those movies that's tough to get in this weekend, is what it sounded. I mean, I
Yeah,
saw
it's
ad shows and I tried to get tickets and it just sold out.
Every
There's
show.
people paying big bucks for secondhand tickets right now.
Well, I looked at every show in the afternoon and at night. At least they're packed. I mean, trying to get a 2-seater with 2 seats connecting. There's like 1 seat up here and 1 seat down there. Is like, I mean, that's the other thing. But I mean, if you're a single person trying to go, it's doable, obviously. But
if you're a single person who requires 2 seats.
Single riders only line.
Yeah, I gotta try and 4 to 5 seats together. Right, ain't happening.
Oh, that's not gonna happen. You tell your kids you're sitting up there, kids.
It's crazy though. This is the culmination of 11 years of Marvel movies.
Yeah.
How many movies is it? Like 20 movies, I think.
Yeah,
I thought it was 22.
I got that marathon starting like Wednesday or something like
That's
that.
the other thing. One of my buddies went and seen the marathon of like every movie. He said by like hour 4 or 5 or 7, whatever the hours were, it's like 50 hours or whatever it is. It's like by hour 7 or 8, the BO and the sweat and the stink was just terrible.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
Terrible.
I saw the first Avengers like 6 times in the theater because I kept going to like they'd have the marathons for Iron Man 1 through 3 with Avengers in it, and then they'd have the Captain America, Winter Soldier with Avengers in between it. I kept going a bunch of those, and they'd have trivia in between movies, so I always won like posters.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not that guy who has to go back and see watch every movie. Like, I'm not a guy who can watch a movie like 3 or 4 times. It's like once I've seen it once, I'm good. Like,
unless it's Game of Thrones.
No.
I gotta watch that episode twice right away.
It's funny. I wake up some mornings on Saturday, and my middle kid, he's 9, is usually the first one up. I come downstairs, and I would say 3 out of 4 Saturdays he's rewatching a Marvel movie. whatever the one on Netflix, he's got it on.
That's before Z gets down the steps.
He makes me proud.
Yeah, is that your favorite Black Widow scene? Jesus, every Saturday. I did see online that speaking of Robert Downey Jr., he was the only one who was allowed to read the whole script.
Oh wow!
So I don't know what that means, but
did you hear they stopped?
He's the first one to die.
They stopped giving Tom Holland altogether.
Well,
they should give him a fake script.
They only gave him his lines like the day of.
That's what they were saying during that.
Because he kept spoiling shit, and they're like, "You're just not allowed to have this information."
Well, that's what they were saying during Infinity War when he actually got vaporized or whatever, clicked or whatever you want to call it. Like when he says, "I don't know what's happening to me," that's like a nod to like him not getting booked because he didn't know his lines. He's like, "I don't know what's happening." So, but yeah, it's a little weird to say, I guess.
I saw that they're projecting it to be 300 million opening weekend.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, eBay sales.
Yeah.
I bet if they put out more showings, they could probably.
I think I heard that AMC was like basically going around the clock.
Yeah, that's
going at 8 in the morning on Sunday.
Don't play any other movie. Just play fucking Avengers in all your theaters.
Heck yeah.
I mean, you could probably do almost that.
Sorry, Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, like who's going to see any other movie?
If you open this weekend, I'm sorry, that was dumb.
Yeah.
Hey, that's like me ending auctions on Game of Thrones premiere night.
Going, anybody in an auctions night?
Do we want to do a little speculation on it?
No.
Too
close to teasers.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we're too close to the end game.
Okay.
Nah.
Like that one?
That was good.
Did you guys hear that Feige said that he doesn't actually consider that the final one of the Phase 4, that he's actually considering Spider-Man?
Far From Home?
Yeah.
I saw that headline, yeah.
Which I thought was a bit strange.
Well, and I think
I'm betting it just has the conclusion of his story and maybe a little bit of the aftermath.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what to think about it.
They can't consider that Phase 4.
Who cares what he says? The market will tell you.
Yeah. Well, and the other interesting note is that he really hasn't announced any Phase 4 movies, right?
It all hinges on Jake Gyllenhaal. That's the real thing that nobody's talking about.
Yeah, but that's also
I don't
Sony.
even know what to say there.
I mean, that's Sony's franchise. That's not really the MCU. Besides Spider-Man being in it, but that whole agreement that they have between MCU or Disney and Sony with the Spider-Man franchise.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It just is. I don't think they've announced a slate. They've announced things they want to do, and I think they're waiting to show their master plan here till whenever. Who's murdering children in the background? Is that your wife, Paul?
Yes, Paul.
Yep, they're not asleep yet. They will be soon.
You better go to sleep or I'll put you to sleep.
Yeah, Paul,
That's
you better go crack some whips over there.
Yeah, my daughter, this is the last. She goes back to school tomorrow. Today was the last night of her last day of spring break, but we had a family thing happen over the weekend, so we went over to my in-laws tonight, and I knew it was going to be what it is. So whatever. Tough time and all that got delayed. So here we are.
That's where you're supposed to slip them some NyQuil and
Melatonin.
Melatonin has been working really good for us, for any struggling parents out there.
You're drugging your kid.
We did the Kahlua bottle. That's what my parents did. A little Kahlua on the back of the gums. Night. Keep your butthole tight.
Jesus. And we just got booted off.
Yeah, that's fine.
there goes our parental friendly rating.
Whatever. So what's next on the list? Let's
How about that? How about Naomi, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
What do you have to
Jeez,
say
that book
about
is freaking volcanic hot.
What
Mel got that slabbed heroes in today. He showed off, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, it's nice
crazy.
that he respected the price he sold it at, so that's good. Some
Have you
lesser,
guys read it?
lesser
Oh, yeah.
people would not have done that.
No, I heard it was good though, but someone else said it was just these people. I haven't read it, so this is just me talking out of holes in my face. But so it was just they're on a spaceship. Is that they're on a spaceship?
No, that was issue number 4 that just came out that everyone was
Oh, okay.
high on, but is basically them kind of talking about her origin and who her parents were, but nothing was really shown. Then like the last page has her like opening up a package with the logo kind of being the reflection of the logo being flashed in her eye. So issue number 5 will probably have more of the origin, how she gets her power.
Is Immortal Hulk? So I had 2 questions. First, is Immortal Hulk now back burner spec / sales, or what's going on with those numbers? And then secondly is, I don't know anything about Naomi, so like what's her powers and all that. But what about Immortal Hulk first? Like, is that done? Sell now if you haven't already. Good luck. Are the covers done? Is Ross done with his?
No,
cover
well,
line?
the biggest thing is everyone was like, to me, I've seen the covers selling. They're not as high, but a lot of people are complaining. Well, yeah, because that 1 in 25 came out, and people are asking 150, 120, but now it's selling for what, 50? And they're like, man, it's selling for 50. Ha ha ha. That's still $25 above ratio.
Yeah, that's still pretty high for
I
a
mean,
ratio.
Well, the issue is nobody was
I didn't buy
selling
into
at
it.
ratio.
I didn't buy into it. I thought the cover was freaking.
That was one of the ugliest things
Yeah.
I've ever seen. Like,
And the second print, I mean, I buy the regular Alex Ross covers. Is the only thing I buy just because
Ross is
Al Ewing's story's pretty good, and those Alex Ross covers are great.
Ross
and
is a
then-
beast. You can't.
Yeah, I mean, number 2 is still an $80 to $100 book.
Yeah.
So maybe we should do a list. I know Coy has done ugly covers, but the ugly covers to sell for the most money. That whole my topic.
Ugly money.
Ugly money. There we go.
I'm sure there'll be a few Rob Liefelds in there.
Some of the hype behind the Naomi stuff is it's been rumored that with Brian Michael Bendis and they you keep hearing these stories that saying that Bendis and DC have it's kind of like this. I'm not comparing it to Riri Williams completely, but when Riri came out, they're saying DC and Bendis they have big plans to use her going into the future with DC Comics. So that kind of to me created some of what you see with the hype, and then people starting to catch on, and then you see copies start selling. People see the copies are starting to sell, and it just
FOMO
creates that
sets in,
domino
yeah.
effect of FOMO. And
And that print run is fairly low on that.
Yeah.
I mean, it for number 1, that's
What is it?
I think it was 30,000 maybe.
yeah,
Split
That's low for
between
DC,
two
yeah.
covers. Yeah. So
and that Lupacino is like, oh my god, it's like not one of my favorite covers of hers, but the Avers are drying up, and people are starting to pay attention to the cover Bs a little bit more.
So who is Naomi? All I know is from back when we did our CBSi cover, Naomi, She Is Life, and that's it.
That's Niobe.
That's my hoping, not Naomi.
Yeah. No, Naomi.
Okay.
Paul's a funny one.
And I'm asked backwards because I bought them, but I only read out of the 4 issues. I read number 3 and number 4. I didn't start from number 1 because
There you go.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna read this because I picked it up this week, and it was number 3.
But so what are who is she? What are her powers? I mean, so what's been revealed so far through the first 4 issues?
It's a $600 9.8. That's all I know.
There you go. Next topic.
Is it really $600 right now?
Mhm.
yeah, the last one went off like 588 or something.
Wow.
Yeah, and I guess a pair cover 1A, 1B, 9.8 sold for like 900 or something like that.
This market is wild right now.
It's so opposite of you're so cold or you're just burning hot. Like the middle ground is there, but it's almost like, is it worth it?
The middle ground's a grind.
It's not worth to me. It's not worth it at those prices.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I really just want to know, and I've pondered this for the past like 5 days, and so like let's say you did pick up because I mean, I picked up a few Naomi's, and I didn't pay any more than cover price for any of them. But so let's say you got lucky and were able to pick up, number one, you picked up 10 copies for cover price.
Mm-hmm.
You saw that they were going for 20. There's a lot of buzz. You kind of see them slowly, gaining steam. It would almost be better for you, like the next person that listed high at 30, 35 or something like that, buy it now, to just go ahead and buy another one at that $35 price point.
Yep.
Yeah, but you have to really believe in it.
Well, no, I mean, okay, so you got 10 copies, you got $40 in them, at cover price. You spend 35 on a new one. They were going for 20, 25. So now you've got 75. So you got $7.50 a piece in. You push that next level higher, and even let's say the next one only sells for 25 again, you can still sell off 3 of them to recoup all your money back and still be dead even. But you've kind of, if it does get hot, like in this case, you're kind of pushing the market for yourself. I don't necessarily, I mean, I'm not trying to say that that's what I would do because it's kind of dishonest, but I can totally see how people could do that. Even not shilled or anything, like they're actually buying it. But they're pushing because they've got a little stock of them. You can push the market beyond what.
It's funny. I always think of this in the more limited market, like the older books, where if you've got a couple, why not buy another?
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to see the potential on the new book market because eBay's the king. What it sold for last is what people want to sell it for next.
Well, the thing too is like, so what's Naomi going for regularly raw, like a raw book? $30?
It's going for more than that.
Almost 100.
Okay, so $100. I'd actually buy one at 100, and if it was 9-8able, right? You just made $500, right?
Who knows? But by the time you actually get it graded, is the market going to stay there?
Not that simple, yeah.
I don't.
And that book isn't worth that risk to me. That book was, to me, I wouldn't pay more than cover for it. But that's just.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. It's not like it's a cool cover or like it's like some kind of
I actually really like the cover.
The cover A?
Yeah, the cover A.
It's funny. Like, does nobody else feel like this market's a little bit?
Cover B is like Turtle from Saved by the Bell all up in her locker and stuff.
Nobody else feel like some of these books are like Valiant of the 90s shit going on?
I don't think so. I just think it's a weird market the way stuff escalates so quick now.
Well, I think it's different from them because there's so many layers to this market. There's 3 or 4 different markets going on.
I want to know who has the money that's paying those prices. Because I'm not paying them.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's like, and it's weird what spec news goes up and what spec books go down. So like the black wasn't was it Falcon and is it Falcon and Hawkeye? What's that new show? Is it Falcon and
yeah, and
the Winter Soldier,
Falcon and the Snowman.
Yeah, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then Hawkeye, and then what is it? She-Hulk.
Yeah, isn't Black Widow's getting her own movie? It's like or whatever. It's like those books really. I mean, you don't see Falcon going through the roof like 117, right? I mean, that's actually one of the most underrated books I think of Captain America.
Yeah,
or whatever.
It got hot for a while there before that first movie came out.
Yeah.
How many apples have you eaten tonight?
Yeah, right?
Dude, with these freaking migraines, I'm like limited, dude.
Yeah, was that squirt? What were you drinking? Are you back on the squirt?
Yeah, it's caffeine free.
Caffeine free.
Maybe the lack of squirt is causing these migraines.
It could be a long-term sugar withdrawal.
We're not doctors here, but that's what we prescribe.
This is the Dr. Oz show.
Yeah,
We're putting them on TV.
Yeah, I don't. It's a weird spec. I don't know. It's like I think like everybody, and like we always talk about it every couple shows. We talk about everybody wants to be, what's the next Walking Dead book, right? But it's like never happens, right? I mean, there's not a number 1 anymore that's going to be a Walking Dead. I don't think that's going to be severely underordered. Minus an indie book or something of that nature, or a GoFundMe or whatever.
Well, the thing is that if there is one, it's going to be reprinted and it's going to be a different cover. I think the market's going to kill it before it
That's what I was going to say. I want to see one of these books that rise in price like this. I want to see if they can sustain that level. Well, it seems like all of them are sick up there, but then without a month and a half, they start coming back down.
Yeah, we talk about that. Oh, Jesus. We talk about this all the time, like Stein's top 10, right? How many top 10 books actually stay up on the top 10 Stein? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like value-wise, like they all just go crashing down after a couple months, right? Theoretically.
In general, I mean, Naomi 1 has been on the list for 3 straight weeks. It was at number 1 twice in a row.
Yeah.
But I have seen several books get up there, kind of fall back, but then rebound.
Yeah.
I mean, and come back.
Like
it happens quite.
Like the Harley Quinn Pink book, right? That was a monster, and then it's like nothing, you know. But I mean, I don't know if that counts or not.
That one was weird. It was a weird time in the market. I mean, it was you think about it, that was the kind of the first time that they kind of threw in that third or fourth, that extra in there that was supposedly super low print. But then all of a sudden, a bunch of them showed up at a con. So that was kind of a weird type thing.
The Aspen one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one that was. It was supposed to be like a humble bundle, and then the code got out, and then everyone all the speculators rushed to it, right?
No, that was a different cover.
Oh, you're talking about never mind. I got you now.
No, but on the Aspen, the humble bundle thing was that was a different cover than the Harley hatless one.
The guns, right?
Yeah, the Turner, but they did a humble bundle that had a different back. There was like a Valentine heart or something like that. But I don't know. It's gosh, I can't.
We're about to mute
Paul's.
Paul.
I got my
Paul's kids, man.
Execute the mute.
Hey,
should we call this the murder episode because of Paul's kids?
Maybe I'm gonna rename it into YouTube.
There's 2 things I do. I want to reiterate that I was not telling anyone to go out and do that for the books and hoard a bunch, then buy and push the market up. Don't do that. That's not
the comic cops are already going to be on.
That's not what I was saying to do.
IG snippet of the week.
No,
I'm pretty sure that's what you said, though.
You're just saying it could be done.
I'm saying that on this particular book, I just was trying to figure it out. I was trying to figure out why is this thing keep bumping itself by $15-$20 at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now granted, I actually think that this book has if they use Naomi. I mean, you think of NYX, or X23, and that print one was like what, 55, 60,000.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was buried in boxes for.
It was, but look how many 9/8 of those that are out there. There are a truckload of 9/8.
I just think the massive inflation to such levels so fast is creepy because that is a character that was in a movie that has had 10 years to kind of gestate. This is a character that has 4 fucking issues.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. I mean, it's a big gamble, but I could seriously see long term. I mean, to be honest, I'm not going to sell mine. I've got one copy of number 1. I'm not selling it.
Well, let's talk about that because we say that with everything, right? If they use them properly, right? How many times we've said that through everything, like America, Spider-Gwen. I mean, we can go down a list of people like we said if they use them in the right way, it's going to be huge. And I mean, besides being the land variant for Spider-Gwen, I mean, you can still get a.
Let's compare it to the Edge of Spider-Verse 2 first print.
Yep.
What's the print run on that puppy? 25K?
No, like 60.
Was it 60?
Yeah, kind of low, right?
And it went through like 7 prints, right?
But this is a spider character, been in the animated movies, had years to gestate, and that book in 9/8 is not as much as Naomi.
Yeah,
these are the things that confuse me. Like just doing the comic math, that stuff confuses me.
That's because there's a short attention span, and everyone goes like, "What's the news cycle for the week?" And that's what gets hot.
Well, and I don't know. I mean, maybe if you can remember back when that came out. I mean, I mean, that Edge of Spider-Verse, I bought like 7 copies. I happened to be in Baltimore at the time, and I just kept going back to Third Eye every day and just kept buying more off the shelf.
Mhm.
I mean, they were letting you could buy one a day, and I just kept going back every day buying another one. I mean, that's how many they had. Naomi, though, I mean, I've found 1 copy of #1, and most stores are like, "What's Naomi?" I mean, they don't even know. I mean, it's just not near as easy to find.
Yeah, the smaller Third Eye near me, they actually had copies of #1 and 1B sitting on their back issue shelf like 3 weeks ago, and I picked a copy of each up. So I got 2 covers, 2 cover A's, 2 cover B's, because one I bought on release, and then I bought another of each. And then of course now you go back and there's no, like, the news is spread. Like, there's no issues #1, 2, 3, and then they didn't have any issues at #4, and I got there at like 11:20 when they opened at 11.
Well, the problem too is, like, and I haven't noticed this yet, because most of these big books that I see that are like crazy, like Spider-Gwen, they show up on my local Craigslist ads. Naomi hasn't yet, which is weird to me. Like, if they're really hot books, they show up on Craigslist for some reason.
Yeah,
But,
and the Blue Green Artifacts makes a good point in the chat. There's no incentive variance, so
Yeah.
kind of helps it.
Where'd it go? George Z was talking about what for you to expand on the 3 markets you were talking about. Like the 3 markets are going on right now. I'm jumping back a little bit.
Golden Age is one of them, right, Zay?
Well, I think there's a whole bunch of things going on. There's this modern spec market, which to me is the 90s all over again, of what's the biggest thing today, and let's jump on it, the Valiant type mentality and low print. Let's buy it up and go.
Buy 10 of them.
Now the grading aspect kind of takes that whole idea and puts it on steroids.
Yeah.
And then you've got the comic buying, just buying fans that are not ever going to spend $800 on that book, that are buying the weekly books and all that. That's the average market. You've got this, the Golden Age freaking love fest going on right now, because all these genres, pre-code horror, even the superhero, the romance, the bakers, all these things are going up by just crazy numbers. You can watch a book, Ben post one every week in his honorable mentions of something that sold for twice what it did months ago, or even more, or the lower grade has sold for more than the other one by 2-fold. Just crazy stuff. I mean, I watched
True Scarcity.
I watched a Horrific 3 hit eBay at what I thought was an insane price, and it was gone before morning.
I like what Scott said, true scarcity, because I think people are ahead. Pardon me. I think people are ahead of the game, where when all this modern stuff and the quick flips and the crazy highs and then they drop off or they stay high. Like, if you zoom back, if you just take a step back from the comic market, it's what is true scarcity. And maybe it's the modern market in some aspects, but the true scarcity is the stuff that you will never get back. And that's those old books, the pre-code hoarder, the pre, all that stuff. So
that's where you look at GPA and there's like 2 sales in 10 years.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that's what drives the prices up is that's one of those 3 markets, if not one of the, 5 or 7 or however many you break it down. But that's, the true focus of the person who's looking at comics as a long term of, all right, you can go get your Spider-Gwen in the rain or whatever, or you can go get your pre-code horror, in a, I don't know, whatever, a 3.5 and hold it. And then when people realize true scarcity, you're like, well, forget that rain cover. This is true original comic history versus comic, just kind of fluff or flash in the pan.
Look at the passion in Paul's voice.
This is the most sense Paul's made in years.
You guys have turned Paul into a Golden Age whore now.
Does anybody else see in that scene from old school where he's at the debate and all of a sudden spits something out and then he's done?
Wait, what
was
happened?
Paul right there.
What's that movie with the Hangover with all the numbers and?
The Galifianakis, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that's that's to me even a mid money market. Buying 5,000-10,000, and then there's markets of people buying those $100,000 books that we don't even think about, the art, the things we will
OA.
never, the
They go
Frazetta
fast,
OAs
right?
that hit.
Well, I mean, here's like,
And that's like investor money.
Well,
We're people gambling a little bit. That's the big money.
Well, here's a good example. Like Savage Seahawks, we had a ton of them, right, Scott? Savage Seahawks, we had like what 30, 40 of those bad boys at one point. I mean, it was ridiculous. Now 9.8s are what they're going for, what 400 or 500 right now?
Pushing 5.
Yeah, 500 almost. I mean, they're not scarce, I wouldn't think. I mean,
the beauty of it is you have a market for both too. So you got a market for your Ferraris, you got a market for your old Fords. People, there's money in both, but it's where you want to put it and what do you believe in that'll either carry you or not carry you. And maybe you're in the short-term market, the flippable now to buy your classics. So I mean, it's multi-dimensional too.
But then there's investment cards, like a 1930s Ferrari barn that's $1 million car. I mean,
I just looked it up, Dino. There's 1,432 9.8s of that Savage She-Hulk one.
I mean, it's not rare by any stretch of imagination. I mean, it came out in 1980. I mean, it's not like it's a 60s Silver Age book or something. I mean, it's an 80s book. I mean,
and so think about this. What was the price 3 years ago, 2 years ago? What, $300, $250?
200, I think.
200. I think we sold ours for 200.
We never had a 9.8.
No, we had 9.6, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's been a 300 book for 2 to 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You bought in, then you held it for 2.5 years. You're now selling at 500. That's decent returns. You doubled in 3 years, but there's a lot of things you could have made a lot more money on than that.
Yeah.
Well, you said a few shows ago is what are you buying with Z? In as far as are you buying on a credit card where you're going to pay interest, or is this money that you have no ties to?
I cash everything, dude. I don't buy on credit card, dude. I just straight cash on me like Randy Moss style, man. I'm not trying to. I can't sell. Well, it depends too. Like if I have a raw book, I can't buy it in a month and pay it off in a month and get it graded in a month. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be tough.
I don't know. I think there's a place for that too. If there's a once in a lifetime amazing book and you want to do the payments and you can do it and pay it off earlier than the interest payments, I mean that's one thing. But if you're it's dangerous water when you finance something and you buy it for $1,000 and you got that 19.4% APR and you're going to pay it off paycheck to paycheck, and then you flip it for $2,000, but it's not really flipping for $2,000 when you have that $350 that you owe the bank. So there's so much to it. If you want to make it that complicated, you can make it that complicated, or you can do the Dino method and get your Detroit rollout.
That's right.
Buy it duty free.
I don't go into debt of credit card. I'll go into debt with my wife on. I spent a little more than I should have on comics this month, but I now look at it as this: I have bought enough comics of if I see something I really really want, I am sure I have some things that I used to want but now want less. Can I sell those off and be liquid in 30 days? That kind of stuff.
Well, and don't get me wrong. If there's something out there that's $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, and I don't have $3,000 laying around, and I think it's a good investment, I'll do it. Like if somebody comes up to me like an ASM 1 for I don't know $4,000 or something, it's a high grade or whatever. I mean, I'm gonna buy it. I mean, I'll eat it at that point. I know I'll make. If I can double my money on something, I guess. I mean, it depends on what your return is too. If I'm buying a $3,000 book and only gonna make $1,000, that's probably not.
But you're also mixing. Is it an investment, a flip, or a PC book? Like a PC book, you're gonna buy something that you're gonna hold for 10 years, 20 years. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I'm gonna put some money in it, but I wonder, just because there's so many young buyers and we always hear about the credit market and how much people are in debt, how much of these comics does the credit card companies actually own?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I don't, and you always hear people, I mean, not saying it's bad.
Especially that PayPal credit.
Yeah, PayPal credit and like open up credit cards and like living check to check. I know a couple of local guys around here who barely can pay for like a $20 book and like trying to, it's like, dude, it's like, I'm not trying to pay. I got to pay bills first before comics, but it's like I don't know. Like you're talking to a guy who sells everything. I mean, I'm always about return on investment. Can I flip a book for double the profit or double the value or something close to that? Like,
Yeah, I haven't seen all the cats yet, so
they're around here.
One.
There's one.
There's one back there.
Yeah, man. If that's the situation you're in, you know, just make a list, evaluate it. Do you need Netflix for $13 a month? I mean,
yeah, because I'll tell you, just speculating news.
that's right. But anyway, I mean, it's not a financial advice show.
Hey, shout out to Crotch Rocket Nick out there in the chat.
Yeah,
a long lost CBSi brother.
My man. Yeah, I met Nick. We met Nick. What was it? Second year, Andy?
Yeah, I think.
Cashback on credit card. Yeah, man, that's a true thing.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're getting a deal on a credit card and you just pay it back, so like, I mean, everybody knows that, right? So like, if you had a credit card and you pay it back within a day to build credit, that's cool. I mean,
that's different than people gambling with money they don't have. I don't know if it was on the CBSi Facebook page or one of the other pages. I saw somebody like, if I have $3,000 of PayPal credit, what do I buy and flip to live on? I'm like,
that's yeah, dude. That's
you maybe a $3,000 worth of ramen.
Yeah, if you don't have the money to back it up or the ability to get out, don't do it.
And a lot of people are saying Silver Age, buy Silver Age. It's like, well, I mean,
Silver Age are slow to move sometimes.
Yeah, man. I mean,
there is no needle moving on some of it. You can have news and they just they percolate, they go slow.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna buy a blue chip book, say like a Gem 83 or something like that, it's not like it's exploding, year to year, where it's like you're gonna $3,000 book next year is gonna be $6,000. It's not even be close.
And you can't
unload it. That's a giant size X-Men fucking one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Blue Green was saying, gold seems unattainable for the average collector, so it may not be, but it seems that way. So I don't know. I mean, maybe the next in line is something to lightly invest in. So, for instance, I was going to say like Ninja Turtles #1 first print out of my reach. Ninja Turtles #1 second print slowly increasing. Maybe when that like Hulk 181. So when those books reach the limit of like total, I'm done. Like I can't. So I'll settle for the second print. I'll settle for the third print, or I'll settle for 180 versus 181.
But are you talking about TMT #1 in like 9.8, or are you talking like any TMT #1 first print?
Right now it seems
pretty
like
much all of them. But
I don't know. I haven't seen the market. I know 9.8 are crazy, obviously.
Somebody was saying, silver is too expensive. Are we talking blue chips? Or are we talking, regular? Because I mean, to buy a low grade Silver Age, Fantastic Four 1 is nuts. I can buy a Golden Age key for about the same money.
Yeah, you could. I mean, soup books for Golden Age. I mean, not keys, but you can buy gold for cheap theoretically. Superman books are a couple $100, right? I mean, in low grade. I'm not saying you need.
What's a Fantastic Four running in 2.0?
What 1?
Yeah, what's that running?
I can look. Well, look at the other big book is 4 or Fantastic 5, right?
Oh, Fantastic 5 is a monster.
Nuclear right now. I mean, I remember I tried to buy your brother's one, and he wouldn't.
Yeah, Ozzy's going to grading here. Sean just pressed it for us. So
FF2, what, and a 2.0?
FF1 and a 2.0.
6,400.
That was last sale.
So this is going back to Paul and scarcity. I mean, how many of those are out there? How many FF1s in beat condition are there?
Well, there was 8 sales last year. And they don't look like the same number, obviously, on the cert number, but they went from about $7,000, 7,100. That was 8. I can tell you on the census.
No, but I mean, like I said, there are a ton of them. Somebody said Silver Age there's a shit ton printed. There are.
Yeah.
Now a lot of them are in collections and not moving, but for $7,000, I can buy a lot or a couple of really nice Golden Age books that you aren't going to see on the market for years.
There's 1,400 graded or in the census.
That's just graded.
Here's a kick in the teeth on scarcity. Throw a Stan Lee signature on there, and that throws your whole table off. Because is it scarce? A Stan Lee signature, is that scarce? No. But does it affect the price? Yes.
Well, I mean,
for now,
it's an extra $1,000, right? I mean, or $500. Everybody's charging an extra $500 for a Stan Lee. I mean,
it's interesting. So, who was it? Stein posted the card market where an unsigned is 5 times what a signed was on that Moreno.
I didn't post that, but yeah, I mean, but see the card market's so different.
What happens if the world changes their mind on this shit?
Well, no, the unsigned is 5 times the signed.
That's what I mean. What if the comic market all says, why are we paying a premium for this shit?
And that's what I was going to say, Z, is that, everybody's saying about the Silver Age books. Well, the Silver Age books are going to start being just as rare as the Golden Age books at some point. So
they're not. They didn't go through the paper drives, World War II, the SOTI, the book burnings.
Yeah,
they're never as rare. People were starting realizing they're worth money. They're just tied up in collections. They exist in. I won't say they're not like Bronze Age, but
the print runs were high.
They are still out there. There are a shit ton of AF-15s. They're just not for sale. Let's exclude Hulk 1 because that's pretty low on the print runs.
They might not be the same, but I think it's maybe the next best thing. Is that wording it right? I don't know.
I'm not saying they're bad investments. I'm just saying the scarcity level is
correct.
Not the same. I mean,
I've seen Fantastic Four #1s and B. Remember the guy in Indy had sold me one of them. He wanted me to buy that. Remember?
Yeah, should have.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I probably should have, but I mean, at the time, okay, we talk about that. So the guy wanted X amount of dollars for it, probably obviously cheaper, but it was beat, man. I mean, it was like barely held on, and Stanley signed it. It's like, but at that time, they were
asking market price at the time.
Yeah, and it was like we talked about it, and I was like, it's a hard sell. Like it was legitimately a hard sell. Like it's a low grade book.
Yeah,
so
a raw autograph copy is hard to sell.
Yeah, and it wasn't graded. I mean, it's like what? Okay, so I CBCS it and then verify it, and then I lose even more money. I mean,
so
that's a good segue into our next
awesome segue.
Thank you.
Good, Dino. Good work.
I didn't even look at the outline.
Here. Who planned that shit out?
So you guys, obviously, we all saw the CBCS post that there are no longer going to honor CGC's yellow label, which I find weird because I wouldn't expect them to honor it to begin with.
So I have not seen the answer to my question. I have a 2018 or whatever CGC yellow label. I send it to CBCS. What happens to it?
Now they're going to have to go through the verified
signature.
No. They said anything 19 and beyond they won't.
Right. So 2018, for whatever reason, you want to send it CGC 98. I want to send it to, and I would be the person to do that. Send it to CBCS. It's a yellow CBCS. Just straight crossover.
Before 19, yeah.
So that's the issue. So they were throwing shade on CGC.
I mean, that's the way I look at it. Yeah, I mean,
but they didn't throw a positive in there. That's the thing. They should have thrown a positive in there to try and grow their business, and they didn't. They just said, it'll go. It'll be. They didn't
talk about what they bring to the table and what their differences between their process.
It's a bullshit post.
Well, they actually don't have red labels anymore.
What do they got?
It's all yellow. It's all yellow label. It will say under the label. It will say verified signature. It will not.
Wait. When did that happen?
About 3 or 4 months ago.
What a clown company!
Well, I didn't hear about this till just now. Anyone else?
No, I haven't heard about it.
Somebody, somebody works with them on the Facebook group and brought that to my attention. I was not aware of it either.
So it wasn't even an official post by them. Like that's big news. Like why wouldn't?
Because they saw that the red labels were not selling high enough. It's basically the same exact program, but apparently they're just giving them yellows, and it will say verified signature or whatever.
I don't understand, like, who is that post marketed to? Because who is honestly.
It's kids.
It's marketed to Paul because he's the only one that would want a CBCS versus CGC.
I think what they honestly
got the rivets.
Honestly, I think what they were doing is they're actually forget what they're saying about. Oh yeah, we won't do it now. What they're basically saying is don't trust.
Yeah, they're trying to.
Don't trust CGC's yellow labels because now their process is it can be forged. Is what they're saying.
Okay,
anything can be forged.
Yeah,
really.
but so here's the thing. So CBC or CGC's process is whatever it is, but CBCS's process is I have a book here that I think is signed by Scott Reagan, and I send it into you, and you do you whatever their process is, and you throw a yellow label on it because you looked at the signature on your end and said that it's authentic. Like, what's the difference?
Well, no, I will say the verification process,
Yeah.
and this is how PSA and
It's pricier and
it's
slower.
it's
methodical, though.
it's a very good process. PSA does it for baseball cards, and Beckett does it for baseball cards, and it's a huge computer system. They can verify, and I mean
I'm sure
I think
No,
their
it's
accuracy,
legit,
their accuracy on spotting fakes is like 99.99. I mean, it's
for sports cards or for the comics.
for both.
for autographs. They don't. It's not just sports cards. They authenticate presidents' signatures. Stuff that's way
probably
any
posters too. What they
yeah.
do.
Any. I mean, they got a huge. I mean, singers. Actors, I mean, they'll verify all kinds of things. So that process is the same process that CBCS uses. So it's not just a thing of, hey, I'm looking at this and it looks like a signature and I'm going to verify it.
If you've seen Pawn Stars, they kind of do it on a much smaller scale where they bring a handwriting expert in and he has different, images of verified signatures, and then they verify to that. I'm sure they have a much.
I think it's a computerized process.
Giant algorithm.
No, he works for CBCS now.
Who?
That guy.
From Pawn Stars?
No, I mean it's
Pretty sure he got arrested for fraud. That guy.
Because I mean, honestly, I've had signatures verified by PSA, and it's not just the look of it. I mean, it's got to be pressure points.
Yeah.
It's all kinds of. I mean, it's basically it's a computer. I mean, they scan it. Super high res. It's a very detailed process.
So everything you just said is what they should have included in that post via a link.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we are talking two different programs. Now they're all yellow label these days, apparently. But we're talking the CBCS Signature Series, which is authorized by their people watching it. Should we be comparing that to the CBCS authorized witness signature?
Well, again, what I think
to me has always been a little more open sourced, and I just got an email in the CBCS this week of be an authorized witness.
Me too.
We're accepting applications. It's never been easier. I mean I know there's an application process, there's a review, but I know a lot more CBCS authorized witnesses than I've ever seen CGC.
If you know a CBCS witness, you could give them a book and they could say that it was signed at this con.
Yeah.
Well, so can CGC.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah, both of them are fallible. I just think it's funny. Like,
John, let's start it. PZ's signature verification service. Sleep on it. You can trust us.
So I think what they're so.
Oh God!
So and believe me, I'm not defending.
And Paul
CBCS.
will press them in the same deal.
Yeah. It's a solid 82 degrees in my attic right now.
This is going badly before it starts.
So what CBC or what CGC has changed in their yellow label process, and I was not aware of this because I'm not a yellow label person. But I up at C2E2, which I have now apparently is true. This process was not the same last year, so I went and got two signatures. I took the CGC witness with me. He watched me. I carried the books with me.
Yep.
He did not carry the books. I carried them in my hand. So I guess technically I probably could have, changed them out or something if I really wanted to. But
he was with you the whole time, right?
Yeah, he was with me. So we walked back to the CGC booth.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, he goes, do you want to get more signatures? I said, well, I would like to get Art Germ's signature, but I know he's at a panel right now. He's not signing. He goes, okay, so what we're going to do is, and so he took my books, he put a sticker on the back of them, put them in a bag, and then and basically sealed it off. So it's a tamper-proof bag, and said, here you go. You can come back whenever you want to. Here's your books. They're in this bag. And if you want to go get Art Germs, bring these books back with me. I will open the bag. We will take them. We will get Art Germs, and then we'll bring all the books back. So that process apparently did not use. They used to store them on it at the CGC booth and had them on their person the whole time. So what I guess could happen is if somebody had access to those tamper-proof bags.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody had those, then you could basically switch these things out.
But let me ask you something though. But whose autograph at a show would command that much money that you would want to put that much effort into doing this?
Dan Piercy.
He's not at the shows though.
No.
Like who's signing there? Like Frank Miller? What's he? 75 a sig? You know, Todd McFarlane might be there. What's he? 100? Like
It might be more the celebrities.
I mean, Alan Moore.
Some of those are like $300. Those crazy ones.
I just don't see the payoff because you can't it's not like you could put like a Ditko signature on there. Like,
well,
obviously Ditko wasn't at the show.
Well, and Scott, I think probably, I mean, for me, I had 2 books total. So obviously it would not make sense for me to do something like that. But the guy standing next to me, he had a stack of books, of this many books from one guy. I'm going to
add to you. So we had a similar situation. Me and Scotty did this, right? So we did this at Baltimore. Okay. And we kind of had our shit together, obviously. But Scotty, you remember this. The guy in line behind us, he had a stack of books like this. Same with sign, dude. And he goes, I want to get all these books signed. He goes, okay, well, do you have like a bunch of art? Well, who's all there? Like he had no idea who was there.
This guy, the CGC rep goes, okay, well, who do you want to see first? He goes, I don't know. And he goes, all right, well, who do you want to see? He goes, I don't know. He's like, do you have a list? And he's like, the CGC rep's like, no, I don't have a list. Like, you got to go online and look for it. Like, he's like, just wait here and I'll come back. And the guy wouldn't wait. He ended up following us around.
Yeah. So I mean, I can see that for that type of people who have no idea to put them in a tamper-proof bag. And like, once you have your shit together, come back and we'll keep doing it. But it's like Scotty said, that guy's not going to sit there and like walk you around with your hand and say, well, this is Jenny Friesen and she has these.
No, it's not CG. Like, because we told CGC where we wanted to go and what booth, and we went.
He was cool about it, dude. He was like, at least you have your shit together, and he's like, he goes, it's easy. It's like it took us like,
So here's a funny story: is this guy ended up following us, and he wanted to go to like 3 or 4. He ended up getting his shit together and say, all right, I want to go to this person and this person. They're at booth this and this. Mm-hmm. So he went to both those booths, and the people weren't there for him to sign. And
you know what? That's the market. That's the next thing. If you want to cash in on money, you become a con tour guide, where you are the market for that guy who has the book.
Dude, blow my brains out.
No, I would never want to do it, dude. And
blow my brains out,
perfect. Dude. Make your money, man. That's a money market. That's an untapped market right there.
I don't want to sit in line. It's bad enough. Like me and Scotty did it, and
you do it with people like me every day. You can do it.
Oh my god, I would kill
every
myself.
Day. Come on, Scott. Do their laundry, man.
And look, Scott. My cat went to Scott's house, so. No, I don't know. I mean, it was standing in line, even with Scotty, it wasn't brutal because Jenny was really nice about it and Steranko was really cool about it. But I mean, I can't imagine like Stein went to go see when he had who was that celebrity? Ant-Man?
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. I mean, that line was ridiculous, wasn't it, dude? I mean,
it was crazy. I mean, I stood there for an hour and I was waiting, and then I got all the way to the front and the CGC guy was not there, and I had to let people go in front of me waiting for the CGC guy to come back. And
last year we had Luke Cage at Motor City, dude, and the line was around the block. It's like these Marvel, Netflix, big movie stars. It's like it's crazy. Like I'm not going to stand in line for 3 hours for a sig.
No, I'm not standing in line for anybody.
Hell, the Four Horsemen were there, and Ric Flair's line was around the block for signings of things. And it's like, as much as I love wrestling, I like Ric Flair and all that stuff. I'm not going to sit in line. Like I'm not. I guess I'm not
I'll buy one on eBay,
dude. But I'll buy one on eBay and be done with it. I mean, I don't know. It's just what it is, I guess, to me. So I don't know. I mean, standing in line is bad enough. I mean. I give kudos for people who do it. Like, it's bad enough. We go to a lot of cons.
Grind.
Well, it's like we go to a lot of cons, and we were getting pissed at Baltimore when we couldn't get in line. We couldn't get in there 30 minutes ahead trying to wait, just for 30 minutes to get a fast pass preview or whatever, books and stuff.
Which even in itself is, do you guys think 30 minutes is even worth it anymore, knowing what that dealers walk around? And
no.
Yeah. Exactly.
Did and maybe again, I don't get autographs, so this was the first. I only got it because it was a gift. It was a gift given to me, so that's the only reason I got Paul Rudd's. But I was shocked. I mean, there was, like I said, I stood in line for an hour. There was me and one other guy out of all of those people that used the CGC witness for Paul Rudd. Everybody else was just paying $150 for a signature and with no authentication service there.
See, we did that 3 years ago at Indy. Somebody came up to me and was like, "Hey," and they asked us if we were a CGC, and we kind of laughed because we had like the big wall back in the day, and Z was there, and it was cool. But they came up to us and said, "Hey, we want to get these signed by Greg Horn. Can you guys help us out with that?" Like, they don't know the process of, like, they don't have a CGC account. They don't know the process of, they have to get somebody from CGC to come over and witness it. You know,
it's a confusing process. I mean, there's a lot of ins and outs, especially during a con. Like
they use our account, which is cool. We didn't care, you know, as long as they pay for it.
So anybody out there, it's not going to be me, but that's the untapped market is doing that at shows.
It's not untapped. I mean, people do it.
Who though?
Trinity.
Who? Anyway,
I mean, those guys that are walking around with short boxes, they're not grading all those books for themselves. They're doing, like, there's people on Facebook, IG, all that. But
I mean, a booth. So what I mean by untapped is I have
offering a service for people there.
Yeah, I have a booth where you come to me, you don't know anything. Like Dino and I were at Fantasticon in Toledo a couple years ago, and people didn't know what grading was. Like, just like a Comic 101 booth. Like, I don't know how you charge for it, but the other thing
problem though is when you have to charge.
Yeah, so we were talking in another chat. John Brown has Trade Up Comics, and he's props to him. He's doing the grind.
He grinds it, baby. He goes to a lot of shows, man.
And he was saying, that slabs, at least in his experience, don't sell at shows. And he's in the raw book market. Like, raw books at shows sell faster and in higher volume than the slabs, and I think it trickles back. People, not that people don't know, but that they know more about just looking at a raw book. Like, this is cool. I want to buy it.
There's a lot of people that don't even know what graded books are. And
Well, Z was talking about it a couple shows ago where he had those 3 books, 3 different prices, and the guy's like, "Why?" Well, they're 3 different grades. Cool. I'll take them all. Marked them up. Brought them in his booth. Put them all up. Probably didn't put grades on them, just put prices.
Well, the thing too is, like, I kind of agree with that segment of slab books don't sell at cons, but I'm going to disagree. It depends what con you go to, because there's some, like, Indy, we did well with slab books. I mean, we didn't sell the whole wall, but I mean, we sold a pretty decent amount of them, like.
Well, I think modern books in slabs and variants sell better in slabs. But, like, some of the just under $100 books, people want raw.
So, I think it's more a thing of slabs have a more defined value.
Mm-hmm.
Raws can be negotiated. People are like, "Oh, it's marked 100. How about I give you 70?"
Yeah.
But you got a $100 9.8, and somebody says 70. You're like, "No, I'm not going to give that to 70. I can get 100 every single day." So
I guess thinking about it in these last few valuable minutes of my life is, if you go to a show, you have to be ready for both markets.
Correct. Well, and then the other thing too is, like, we had a girl every indie con she would come see us, and she would say she's a Hughes fan, right? Big Hughes. I think she was a Campbell fan too, and she just like covers, right? And we said, well, we got graded books, and she goes, no, I like to read them and open them up and stuff like that. So I mean, for us guys who are sticklers about condition, there's 90% of people who aren't. Right. I mean, you see a lot of people buying 9.2s and 9.0s of their favorite book, not 9.8s. It's obviously it's what they can afford, obviously, but it's like.
Well, didn't we have a Facebook post about someone asking about low grade or no grade?
Yeah.
Man, who is planning these segues?
Where is that post? It was what did he say? Gentleman said.
Basically saying, like, if it's a low grade beater copy, is it worth buying? And
where do you draw the line? Tape,
we mentioned volume,
missing, staples, writing, bad cover. That's so subjective. It's hard.
It's it's too subjective. I mean, honestly, it comes down to price. If you can get it cheap enough, I mean, people will buy a coverless book if it's a big enough key.
I saw a Hawk One coverless, $800. I said it was me and Sean were talking about it.
What do you think? What do you think an AF-15 coverless would go for? $2,000 maybe at this point? Maybe 1,500.
Graded or raw?
Raw.
Probably $2,000. I mean, if we're being real fancy about it, I mean,
Z, what do you think?
At least, honestly. Because you could slap a facsimile cover on it and it would go for more.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I am the wrong person to ask because I have bought incompletes. I have bought ones, no value stamp. I have no centerfolds.
So just
coverless.
I mean,
covers. I mean, I bought everything.
So
yeah,
so basically,
that's our like.
yeah. So
Sean,
basically,
with Sean, Sean says, buy it if the price is right, just buy it. Doesn't matter what.
I think also though. Okay, let's limit the conversation for your PC.
Yep.
What are you putting in your PC?
PC, it's got to be.
Because Scott, you do have a PC. Dino, you're not that person, but the rest of you have a PC.
PC modern, it's got to be 9.8, unless I can't afford a 9.8.
Like Saga RRP, like I'd buy a 9.4 of it. I mean,
oh, by the way, I just looked it up. A coverless 0.5 AF15 sold 2 weeks ago for $20.25.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, coverless incomplete.
Now there's a CGC one that went in March of 15. Now it was CGC obviously, but it went for 3,800.
Yeah.
So I mean that's about right. I mean,
look, honestly, because there's we talked about this earlier. Like there's a bunch of different markets, and there's people who just want the comic, and if you're the cheapest one and it's half decent or whatever, I mean, if most people who buy these books don't care about condition.
well, we talk about pages too, right? I mean,
I thought a page of AF15 3 years ago was insanity.
I fucked up and didn't buy that.
Now 500.
I didn't buy that Joker page. Remember, Z, for like $300. I lost my mind. I don't know why I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I was like,
that was a nice page.
And
we were much dumber back then.
Well, I go, that's probably a hard sell, and I don't know. I don't even know if it is a hard sell still. It probably could be. It could be the best decision I made or the worst decision. I mean, theoretically,
you can find a buyer now.
Oh, I bet you could. It was the Joker panel from Batman 1. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, that was a dumb move, and I am sad I didn't just beat you over the head and say buy it.
Yeah, because I would have, but I don't know. I mean,
don't be afraid to beat up books. There's a market out there. People buy them on eBay too. Like you'd be surprised, people will buy beat up copies.
Sean says it all the time, dude.
Was it with the Walking Dead 0.5 sold for the
$300
the lowest graded Walking Dead?
Yeah, it was a 0.5.
I mean, I
think it went for like $350, right?
There was a ASM 300 beat to shit, half a cover.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
moldy, whatever. Would that go for $90, $100?
Yeah, I mean, it's
especially if you're only paying $5, $10, $20. Maybe $50 for like a bigger key. Like you can't lose on that. Like,
yeah,
you got to get it cheap though. I mean, you can't be paying top dollar for it and expect that it's going to go up and be worth more.
All right, to the Bryans, as they've been quiet, what are you not putting in your PC? Like, is there something that you're like, I just won't do it?
Yeah,
books
that I don't care about.
I couldn't buy pages.
No,
I'm kind of on the incomplete train. Like, if it's missing a page, I
don't like pieces of the cover missing either.
Yeah, and it's got to be like most of the cover's got to be there. I can't do coverless books.
Brian, I'm sorry. I love how last time I looked in the background, you had one row of boxes. Now you have two.
Yeah,
I love that.
They just keep coming, man.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think it means. I guess it depends. I mean, let's exclude all the big boy books, the Hawk ones, the action ones. Let's exclude all that stuff. I mean, I'd probably go no incomplete, right? I would say exclude 181, like Marvel stamp cutouts, maybe.
Let's talk Bronze Age and above.
Yeah, okay. So Marvel stamp cutouts for maybe 181 is probably if it's high enough graded.
For PC, no.
For PC,
no,
obviously.
I bought them and sold them, but I don't want it in my collection.
Yeah, I don't. I have one Marvel. I have one 181 right now in my theoretical collection, even though it's up on eBay. But it's like it's like I stayed away from Marvel stamp cutouts. I mean, we bought one and we did well on it, but it's like probably
it's
Marvel
market.
What's that?
It's a limited market.
Yeah, it's a limited market. A lot of like how many Marvel stamp cutouts are on eBay right now for a 181? A ton, dude, a ton, and they're selling for fractions of what
Okay, would you rather have a nice looking Marvel stamp cutout or a beat to shit cover?
Yeah.
Probably a beat the shit cover.
But then again, like honestly, it comes down to like some people just don't care. They want the book. All right, I'm gonna get this 8.5 with the cutout versus the 3.5 because the 8.5 looks gorgeous. I don't care what that green label is. I don't know the difference.
Well, what if you don't even put it in a green label? Let's get really crazy and you just put it in Mylar. Well, you don't even fucking know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think some of this is because these standards were developed, in when the first Overstreet come out.
70. Yeah.
So pre Marvel value stamp and pre some of this coupons and stuff. Yeah, I know they were thinking about it, but they were not thinking about that. That was an anomaly of terribleness that caused that, and they weren't thinking about that. They were thinking of missing pages, missing pieces, and coupons, but just different coupons. And this Marvel value stamp is a unique item, and I think it happened to hit a hell of a lot of key books somehow, and I think that's a different thing than a missing page.
No, I mean I technically agree. I mean, if it affects the story, obviously that's a bigger detriment than obviously a little coupon cutout, obviously, or Marvel stamp missing.
Oh gosh, that coupon cutout would eat away at me like I don't know, like the Telltale Heart or something like that. It would just like I would just know it's there like constantly. I'd be like, oh gosh, that thing's missing that stupid stamp.
It would drive me nuts too.
Yeah, I mean, but it depends. What can you afford though? I mean, like you said, do you buy a 3.5 at $2,000? That's
I'd rather have a 1.0 with the stamp than a 7 without the stamp.
Yeah, I love how Stein's going all scholarly on us with the Alan Poe references.
You buy. It's probably because I drift into the golden age.
Yeah,
I will buy a pretty 2.0 over an ugly 4.0.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, eye appeal means a lot more than
no faded books.
Yeah, no faded books. That's a good point. No fade. Like I've seen Avenger 1 that looks like it's been stuck in the sun for like a million years, and it's like all faded out. Now, I don't care what you're gonna,
Yeah.
Oh man, somebody shared a link or a post on Facebook or whatever the other day it said sun fade was present when slabbed or something like that, and it was just faded the heck.
Yeah, I mean that would bother me too. That bothers me too. I mean that, and I don't know. It's. I guess defects are to each its own, right? I mean, like you said, like 9/8 or 9/8 in moderns, but I mean, like especially like when the covers are missing or like a quarter of a cover is missing, that bothers me unless it's like a rare book. But I mean, let's talk about just regular books. Like if a 181 has half the cover ripped off of it, I'm not buying that. Nobody's. How many people are going to buy that? Maybe somebody will, but I won't.
Somebody will.
Yeah, but
is it the half with or without Wolverine?
Yeah, see, that's the thing about the 181 is the only thing that's making the 181 so super valuable is the fact that Wolverine's on the cover. Otherwise, 180 would be the more valuable.
Well, 180's got it, and 180's risen. I mean, theoretically,
it has. But I'm saying if it's missing half the cover that's got Wolverine on the cover,
correct.
There's no appeal to that book.
Correct.
Well, I think 180 is risen because 181 is risen out of reach.
Yeah.
Well, that's true too.
I'm gonna buy all the 180s and cut the Wolverine cameo out of them.
And so,
slowly over time and just destroy the market.
I'm gonna get 179.
Collect them in a book like the Marvel value stamp book and go, I have 100 Wolverine images. Be paid for it.
Okay, here's a good example. Here we just talked about this. Here's a link, boys. So, and I don't know what's wrong with this one yet. I'm gonna look it up. So it's incomplete. So it's Incredible Hulk 180, CGC 40 qualified, Marvel value stamp missing from page 10 does not affect story, incomplete, right? So that's 225 CGC 40 right now, my comic shop. I mean, somebody's gonna buy that, right? Theoretically. I mean,
yeah.
I don't even throw it in the YouTube chat because I'm not gonna buy it. So I mean, I don't know, So
well, that's like what was that? Was it last year? The year before? where you guys bought a raw one with the value stamp missing out of
Yep.
Baltimore.
Yep. We so I guess can we talk about
Did an
prices and
indie.
stuff? Yeah, we'll talk about prices. I don't really care. So we went to a booth in Baltimore. It was Sean, me. I think Scott was there too. And we were just sitting there, and we went up to this girl, and she's like, it was her and her boyfriend or husband or whoever it was, maybe boyfriend at the time. And we're like, how much for the 181? I got to ask. And she goes, was it 500, Scotty? I think.
Yeah,
She was like $500. And me and Sean just looked at each other, and we were like, okay. And
we're like, what the fuck's wrong with it? Because it was gorgeous.
It was gorgeous. And I go, Sean, why don't you look at it? So he's looking at it. He goes, dude, this is like the nicest cover I think I've seen. And like and it didn't have a stamp. And we just looked at each other. We're like, just buy it right now. And then we're like, how much for that New Mutants 87, which is the first cable, obviously. And it was not the reproduction or the second printing. It was the red cover.
First print,
yeah, first printing. So we bought that too. She was just giving away books, and you know what's funny, because she was like, you know how many people asked about that 181? I'm just gonna give it away, and we just like,
It was like, and she was like, kind of like arguing with her boyfriend or husband, whoever it was, because I think he might have invested a lot in that book, and she just wanted it gone.
She gave it away to us, and we were just like,
we got it for $5. We ended up grading it. It came back in 8.5.
Yeah.
But it was green label.
It was green label. Yeah. And we sold it.
We sold it for a good amount, though.
Yeah. So, I mean,
that's a 2 to 3K book.
And that was like before the spike had.
Well, you know what's funny is like, those two books probably, we had two of them actually, because Sean had one up on it.
Had one,
on the lab. Yeah. And those two books sold the first day or second day, like right away, man. Like right away. Like that's probably, I've seen that a bunch of times, because when Tony came like year or 2 or 3 at IndieCom, and it was his first year, he had a 181 and it was like a 4.5. And some guy before the show even opened, or at the show, like minutes before or minutes after it opened, bought that book for like X amount of dollars. You
don't see that book on a lot of walls, man.
Yeah. I'm going to have it at HeroesCon if it doesn't sell at eBay. It's like, I don't know. It's rarity and scarcity, but
it's not rare at all, but
well, you know what I'm saying? For a con it is.
It gets sucked up as soon as it go up for sale. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Especially if you have a wiggle room on it, like if I don't know.
All right, I got a Reagan's Rage I want to get out.
I can't wait for this. I'm super pumped.
So, friggin' Jenny Friesen's re-releasing that poster that I spent money on and got it framed and all that. And the worst part is now it doesn't have like the Metallica words on it. It's like, ugh. I wish I didn't fucking frame this one.
It looks a little different though when I look at it.
The colors are different, yeah.
The red it looks like the red snake or something.
Yeah, I think it's like all green now, or green and blue, or I don't know.
Do you think? But
whatever.
Again, hold on. I guess I'll move again. Sorry, I didn't have you on present, so everybody can see what
you
that's
can see
going
in the
on.
background right beside
Yeah.
Right here.
So would you buy it without the Metallica on it?
I'm not going to, because I don't know. It's the same price. It's $50. Like, I'm not going to spend another 50, and then I'm not going to frame another one. Like,
yeah, I understand.
I wish they would have released that one first. I would have bought that, but at least this one's rarer.
Is the new one limited?
It's limited to
150.
So it's not as rare as the one I have, but
is there a link?
It goes on sale. It's Nakatomi.
Nakatomi Plaza.
Nakatomi Tower, buddy.
Nakatomi Prince or something like that.
Paul, you
Jenny Freaks on Medusa.
Paul, do you still have your Nakatomi Tower?
I do. I have one left. I think I sold one. I debated selling it. My wife's like, we'll keep it till we have somewhere to display it. It's a Die Hard collection DVD or Blu-ray, I think, and it's like a scaled down plastic Nakatomi Plaza. It's pretty sweet.
But I'll tell you what. One good thing is, at least for Emiliano, really wanted one, so I think he's going to try and get one of them. But I don't know. It's kind of crappy that you release a limited one, it sells out and it does well, and then You're like, oh well, you know, I could just make more of these.
This one,
Let's see.
Medusa.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know, man.
I kind of like the coloring of this one better.
Does yours red circles? They have the spike, the thorns.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
right behind.
it's
It's
the-
right behind his head.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the same exact print, but it doesn't have the
Yeah, I'll
words at all.
I'll share it right there.
I don't know. She needs to make that poster and the one you have too, like black light,
Yeah, glow in the dark. That'd be cool.
glow in the dark, like that paint. But
Well, I mean, this is still screen printed as well, same as mine.
Speaking of Frizen, did you guys see that she is going to be doing the cover for number 4 of that Faithless book that just had that Tula Lote? She's going to be doing the erotica variant for it.
She's doing that the Bat Who Laughs 6 variant for that. Did you see
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, that looks cool.
That thing looks badass.
I mean, she's getting more popular, which is a good thing, right? I mean,
Yeah. So I think we have an update from Simple Man's Comics, don't we?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So another great Sagu. But yeah, so I got some review videos that I've got coming lined up. BCW, I actually got in with BCW. They're gonna send me 5 products, 1 product a month, and I'm gonna do review videos for them. Starting probably this week, they're gonna send me some Storefolios, and
Which, by the way, are the best.
yeah, so they redid them. Well, since I bought them last, because
Oh,
they
really?
used to have the Velcro slap.
Oh, yeah, they have the magnetic ones.
Now they have magnets, and then they got they're sending me some of those, some of their ones that have a different cover that you can actually get a sketch done on them.
Oh, wow.
And then they're sending me some that have graphics or the graphic sheets on them.
Yeah.
Well, I saw Mike had one that he bought at Baltimore that's got the flap that goes all the way around the edge, and mine.
yeah,
That's
I
the
got
newer
those.
one.
Mine just have the one side, and I'm like, well, shit, I'm already screwed. I'm just gonna throw those away.
Yeah, I got those. Those are really nice actually with the wraparound.
Yeah,
the
the
extra
new
layer.
design are nice. The
And they're-
magnets.
and they're like they're magnetized too. Yeah, that's the other thing. Instead of Velcro.
And then you got to send those samples back, right?
No, actually, they said I get to keep them.
That's
Wow.
right, because you work hard and you
Yeah.
got it.
So, and the good thing about it is they told me straight up, like, hey, we'd like for you to do a review of these products, and by no way you're not a spokesman for BCW, so feel free to give an honest review. So if they suck, they
Yeah,
suck.
that's
You say they
awesome.
And you
suck.
send them to Paul.
Yeah, maybe Rooster goes out and tells them the real truth what's going on.
Rooster's gonna throw him up like a clay pigeon.
Yeah. So yeah, got a little 5 video series, 1 per month set up for that, and it's gonna be on, of course, Simple Man's Comics, and then Ben C asked me to put it on comicbookinvest.com as trade secrets.
Sweet,
Nice.
that's awesome, man. And
Yeah,
so,
that's awesome.
do you want to reveal
Double
what they're
duty, man.
sending you? Do you want to reveal what they're sending you, or just the one for now? I think just the one for now.
Yeah, just the one for now, because I forget what all it was.
Good stuff, though. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
'Cause I was-
BCW is good stuff.
My whole thing is like, I was like, hey, can I like review your CGC bin? Because I don't have that and wanted to review it. But so yeah, it worked out.
Those things are awesome, by the way.
They are, dude. I got a. That's all I use now. They're really nice. I think I guess we can talk about some BCW stuff. I mean, I think the long box is still terrible.
It's too
Because
heavy. Like
it's too heavy, and the handles are just.
You
they're
gotta work out, bro.
I got the hammer
You gotta
right.
do the rooster workout video, dog. Come on.
The problem, honestly, it's the ergonomic problem too. It's like because like the handles on the plastic boxes are like fingertip grip. I mean, they're not like you can actually grab
Chuck
them
the hands and wrap the knees.
I know, no kidding, dude. I gotta get a strap for this thing, like put it on my back. No, I mean they're like fingertips. It's like it's bad enough trying to like. I don't even feel like here's a trade secret. I don't really fill our slab boxes. I fill them like 3/4 of the way because I'm really scared to fill them all the way up just to like, because I'd rather have a good grip on them and like buy more and then try to fill them up all the way. I mean, they're beefy, especially when you get 25 slabs in there.
Yeah, pack them in there, man.
No.
You carrying them a mile from the con.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I learned that lesson a long time ago.
Dude,
But you get that $1 bottle of water.
CGC box, like the box with no handles.
Yeah.
Just think how better off GW would have been if he had those plastic bins versus the cardboard ones when I chopped them off my dolly a few years ago.
Well, we talked. I heard. I don't know who was telling me this. Was it maybe the guys in here, or maybe it was in another chat, that the CGC plastic boxes, after a while, they flex so much they start to pull apart. If you start
the comic bins,
yeah. If you start lugging them around from con to con, eventually they just sit there and they flex apart, and the gaps start to show. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, because they're kind of. I could see that they're kind of.
Because they're just like snapping. They're like snapping.
They're
not like
snaps all along the seams.
Yeah. So I mean,
I'm not sure they're designing for the salesman in mind. I think they're designing for the collector.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
I'm not sure why everybody's switching to that on the lugging it around scene. I mean, if you're gonna do it, that's a.
I think maybe they need to make a welded one for cons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like rivets.
Sheet
Rivets.
metal.
All of those fucking rivets.
I mean, don't get me started on your Harley Quinn statue. I want to so basically what happens is I switched for us because I guess it's kind of half a dozen of other now. I think they stack a little better, but I think I was scared of putting at least the cardboard ones on top of each other when you're like in the car, but I don't know how I'm gonna do it this year. I mean, I'm not like I've been at a double stack. I just feel a little safer if I double stack them. They might slide around a little bit more, but they're more protected. You know what I'm saying? Than just cardboard. If they
my favorite thing is the divider. So if you fill it up all the way, you can use a divider instead of having to stuff the box with shit.
Yeah, I agree too. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I personally like them, to be honest with you. I mean,
they're nice.
And plus, you said like at least for the regular bins, let's throw away the graded bins. The regular bins are nice because they have dividers too. Because you can be like, if you have a box going, you can be like, well, this divider represents the stuff I'm sending to CGC, and this is the rest of the books, or or these need to be pressed. Like I know Sean does that. I guess I'll trade secret that. So when he pressed and he was going back and forth, obviously he would say like, oh, these need to be pressed. These are graded. This is So he had like a little cycle going, I guess. So. They didn't. You know what they didn't really put is I'm kind of mad about this is they released the graded comic book bins but didn't make graded comic book dividers like the little comic book dividers you have, Paul.
Oh, that's kind of crap. Wait for the slots they have on their other ones.
Yeah, remember the red ones you bought with the label, the alphabetized. You put them. They have them, but just the regular size ones, not the taller ones. So you can't even see them when you put them in.
Oh, so you're not talking about the sliding ones they have? Are you talking about the BCW bins, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the BCW bins, the plastic bins, but the BCW dividers, you can buy like a 26 pack for like $1 or whatever it is, and you can write like A, B, C, D, E. I bought them.
There's enough slabs that they need a divider, other than a handful of big boy dealers.
I do.
You do not.
I have 6 boxes, bro. 7 boxes.
Yeah, that's 150.
Six short boxes. You need that many dividers.
I need people to know what I got, man. A, B, C, D, E. Okay.
Unless you are like Baltimore big boy, bringing like the Reese comic boys with like 7,000 slab boxes, you don't need dividers.
They don't even. They're never. I talked to them about the boys. They're like, we're not changing that crap. We're like, so which I understand. I mean,
I'm just saying you don't need.
Hey, I'm trying to look professional out here. We got polos, okay? We're a real deal. Okay?
Yeah.
Polos and bags, my man.
Polos and bags, man. We, Mike Z can attest to how professional we are. Hell, I sold a slab of him in a new bag. 5 minutes.
That's true.
It is true. No, I mean, I just think try to be. I mean, I don't know if this is going to segue into something different, but I mean, the thing too is appearance at like if you go to a setup at a show, I guess it's kind of trade secrets, I guess. But I try to look as like not as professional as it can be, but like. How many people hate to go up to a con and like you start going through a box like, hey, any order? Not really. It's like, dude, how many people go away from that booth? I do. I mean, if I got to sit there and remember everything, it's not A, B, C, D.
I don't like digging in dirty bags.
Yeah, dirty bags or no bags, or it's like, and it's all just no kind of organization. It's like, dude, I'm not, there might find something in there.
I also hate no pricing.
Oh yeah, no pricing for sure, dude.
How much is this? Oh, I gotta look it up. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I didn't price anything.
Well, I still sold books though, because that's what kind of guy I am. So, but no, I mean, you're different though. I mean, it's not like you had 25 boxes of no name. What would you have, like 6, maybe 4? I mean,
yeah. I mean, just a few shorts.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. I mean, so.
But you wouldn't eBay people.
No, I knew what they were, and then I just drop it 20% below what they're going for.
Yeah.
Some people at shows are like, oh, eBay price plus 25%.
I go the other way.
Yeah, I just don't understand that. I'm like, wait a minute, I can get this cheaper on eBay, so why would I buy it off of you?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm kind of struggling with that right now. Like, we're coming up to a show, and I haven't really I didn't put prices on the books for, like, I don't know, maybe a quarter of the books we have right now, because I'm thinking like
pricing.
I know. We have our prices in CLZ, but it's like I always think, like, if we buy a book right after Indy, we're doing Indy next year, like that whole year before, because we don't do a show. It's like we're like big guys who do shows every weekend. Like, a year can change a lot of stuff. Obviously, like if you put $800 on a 181 last 2 years ago, and your new year comes up, it could be, a $1,600 book. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what kind of scares me. But
yeah, but why take a shower? You're just gonna get dirty tomorrow.
That's true too. I don't know. I just things that in my mind just roll around it, I guess. But I don't know.
All right.
What else? Do we have anything else on the outline?
I think the last thing we got are shows getting canned.
Oh,
seems to be a little bit of a trend going on.
The DC thing, or what are you talking about?
Swamp Thing got canceled. Why the Last Man apparently is
Swamp Thing did not get canceled. It got cut from 13 episodes to 10.
Oh, is it? Well, no, don't get that tone, Dino, because everyone else here is bitching about Netflix being 13 episodes, and now they're cutting it back, and now you're like, oh.
Well, the question is, are they cutting it for good? Are they losing confidence in the platform? Because it all came right after the Disney announcement.
I think you know what I think it is it's platform wars. It's everybody's going towards streaming. So it's Netflix, Amazon, Disney, Plus, and Sling TV and whatever else. They're all in competition with each other.
Well, what's funny? You talk about that is I read an article that it said with all these different streaming options, it's increasing pirating actually, which for $12 a month, you're like, oh, everybody should be able to afford it. Just pirating theoretically, but with so many choices out there nowadays, people are pirating more and more than ever.
Well, how many people share their password with other people?
Well, yeah, I mean, true.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I just got an email. My Netflix is going up like $3.
I went to the 4K and it went up like $2 or $3 too.
Yeah,
for like the 4K Ultra HD version.
Yeah, mine's like 4 viewers. It's like $13.99 or $12.99. It's getting ready to go up to $15.99.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I'm excited for Disney Plus though. $7. Oh man.
I'm not doing anything with Disney until they get their own Star Wars shit back.
What do you think of J.J. Abrams, man? You think he's going to bring it back?
I'm kind of nervous, but whatever. It's Star Wars.
You know what Abrams does?
What does he do?
Abrams makes something really awesome.
Tanks.
No, he makes it really awesome. Well, here's what I'm comparing. I'm comparing it to Lost. So what do you do? The first 2 seasons of Lost, he makes it really cool, and then I don't think he can carry the rest. So he leaves. He gives this big package of mystery to the next guy, and then they screw it up. And then Abrams is like, I don't know what to tell you. I made something really cool. But if he were to carry it on, I don't know. Would he really be able to answer those questions? I don't know. Who knows? That's my worthless Abrams rant.
Okay.
That was nice.
It sounds like a candy your grandmother used to have. Yeah, my worthless Abrams. You want one?
You have any Paul's problems for us?
Let's try to get away from that, but let's see.
Oh, okay.
Since the audience demands it, we got a good one. Let's see.
That's what we're all here for.
You know what's funny? I'm gonna buy your Paul's Problems book and get it like CBCS verified or something.
No, get it CGC yellow labeled first, and then get it CBCS.
I kind of want to jump around. Let's see. Let's see.
It's bad when you got that many problems.
Yeah.
It's just me deciding how embarrassed I want to be and how good I can tell the story. Yeah, here's a good one. Did I ever tell you guys? I have a check mark by it. I don't know. Did I tell you guys about the mini fridge? My mini fridge at work. My mini fridge saga. Anyone remember that one?
You told me, maybe that's why you have a check mark by it, but you can go ahead.
Well, no. Anyone else remember that one?
Did it explode?
Yeah, okay, so that one's off. This one doesn't have a check mark by it, so I'll just go in order. So do you guys in gym class remember those the little boards with the wheels on them, the little plastic square ones that you'd slide around on?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I was doing. I was just messing around on one end of the gym. Everybody went to the other end, and I had my little board with me. And the gym teacher's like, come on, like, come over here. And so I sprinted across half the gym, jumped on the board on my knees, and held on. But I don't know if my momentum must have caught me. And I kept going. I was on the board on my knees for a good 2.5 seconds. And then I fell forward and just skid straight. Like I was Two-Face. Like literal from Batman, Two-Face, right down the center, red skin, just rug burn. But it was that gym floor.
That gym floor rug burn. Yeah, that
gym floor rug burn. Meant for
that shit
basketball.
Hurt. That burns.
It was just like go to the nurse. Like I don't even know if I cried. It was just like my face is on fire. And so I didn't see it. I don't think I saw it till I got home, and I was just like, "This is what I look like now," like just down the center of my face. And
Paul gets up and acts like he didn't fall.
Yeah, walk it off.
Yeah, you call it the Tommy Lee Jones story.
Right. So yeah, those boards didn't last long. So those are dangerous. Careful, kids.
Paul got those boards banned from school. Could you imagine if it was 2019?
I need those NBA face masks. That's what I need.
I don't know if that would help, man.
If it was 2019, Paul, you would have had there would have been like a Facebook post about it. They would have been in news.
Only you, Paul.
All right, so now we turn a page. We don't have that many left. I haven't added to the book. I got here. So those on YouTube. That's it. That's my last page of Paul's Problems.
The good
you
thing
better get working on building some more.
The list is alive, so it can be added to.
It can be added to, but
it's like updating the list from first appearances and stuff on the Comic Book Invest website. It's organic.
You need to just record it on your phone. Be all like star date.
Paul's Problems log is number 6532262. You should get on the Star Trek communicator. Don't you have that? Then you buy that?
Yeah. Oh, that's the medical scan. Scan I read my face.
Oh, okay.
And a little scanner.
Yeah.
Still work? Yeah, it still works. There we go.
Wow. Very official.
Very scientifically official. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'll reserve Paul's Problems for when asked upon.
Oh wow!
Down to the last page.
Okay.
Well, I mean, maybe you. I think you need to start making some bad decisions again.
Yeah,
I don't like this new Paul.
It's the end of the era. I don't know.
Yeah,
when you get Paul drunk in a cigar, and he'll make some bad decisions.
There you go. Next time we're all together.
Put him on a blackjack table.
Oh God.
Who knew blackjack was a team sport?
Hey, Dude, fucking,
You were told it was a team sport, and you said, "Well, I don't give a fuck. I'm not playing."
I was playing for myself.
there might be a
Just
team,
showing
but it's
off
just me
so
in
much.
there. That's what Paul's strategy was.
Yeah,
I don't know who wanted to kill you more, Sean or that Asian lady.
Dude, the Asian lady for sure, dude. For sure.
She got up and walked away.
She goes, "What's wrong with your buddy?" And I go, "I don't know."
No one does. No one does.
So, I guess the last thing we're gonna do tonight is talk about the CBSi variant. Would you want to take that, my man?
Yeah, so CBSi, we've teamed up with Vault Comics, and Vault has their vintage variant, which is their homage covers, usually their second prints, but now they started teaming up with retailers where they have the Vault retailer vintage line, and we teamed up. We have Queen of Bad Dreams #1, which was Ben C. chose the homage for it, and it's an homage to Detective Comics #31. So the cover artist for the Vault book is Nathan Gooden. It is up on the site, comicbookinvest.com. There's right on the menu there. Just click on variants. It has links right to it. The book actually comes out this Wednesday, so they will be shipping out as they're ordered. And while you're up there, if you still want it, there's still a few copies left of the Mad Cave Honor and Curse #1 variant. So definitely check that out as well. Selling good, great, especially if you like the Golden Age, the Batman cover. Seems like a great book. Heard a lot of good reviews. Vault's definitely been putting a lot of stuff on social about just the book in general with Queen of Bad Dreams. And I'm looking forward to picking it up.
$2.
I ordered actually a couple copies from the variant off CBSi's site as well.
$2 of every sale goes what? St. Jude's, right?
Yeah, so this one's actually $2 St. Jude. We've been selling the other variants for $25. This is actually $22. $2 of that goes to St. Jude, and shipping's included. So what? $5 first class, $2 St. Jude.
Yeah, limited to 500 copies as well.
500. This one, we got all 500. Vault didn't keep any of them, so they're all in CBSi, and
they're going to be numbered, right?
They're going to be numbered, and I think there's 50 of them that are going to be set aside for giveaways.
Nice.
I like the back cover. I like the red, the CBSi red
Yeah,
logo.
looks good.
Right, and how they break it down to like what the vintage line means, but CBSi Comics. So it's pretty cool. Jack and I talked a little bit on the Bolo show last week as well.
Did Jack go into details of what the book is about?
He gave a little bit more details.
Tune in.
These dream figments, and then just like what's the main character? Daher, Daher.
Yeah.
She's like a detective, and they go out and they search for these figments, and whether they're supposed to let them go by, or it's kind of. I'm doing a whole bunch of explaining it because I'm tired, but
I didn't mean to throw you on the spot.
Yeah, but to me, it kind of reminded me like a cross between Matrix and Inception.
Ooh,
nice.
But yeah,
and Supernatural.
Supernatural.
Yeah,
but no,
the Green Artifacts talking about Wasted Space. I love Wasted Space. Another Vault title.
But no, the Bolo show goes into some more detail, so check that out.
Yeah, it's live every Thursday at 9. Ben's been in there.
Is the Bolo on Simple Man's Comics?
Yep, it's on Simple Man's Comics.
It's a good show. You should definitely tune into it.
Bolo list, and been doing some changes to it. It's kind of like we got it set up kind of like a comic book sports center, so it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
Will we see Rooster on
it? Rooster might make an appearance.
Oh man.
At some point.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to use us as like movie, like in the graphics and stuff. Why are we not movie screens like you do on the Bolo?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't host this. Plus, it's harder. Well, it's easier to do that with 2 people. You don't have to worry about your memory and CPU. When you got 7 people trying to run all that stuff, man, it gets pretty resource intensive.
Hey, don't come on with your technology yabber jabber, okay?
I don't know of any computer that you need one megalodon of a computer for 7 people. I just made that up. Megalodon computer.
Is that more than a terabyte?
Yeah,
Is that a ticklebyte?
it's a mega flippy flop.
Come on, man. We know you know Watson. Get him up on the thing, okay? Jeez, on Pete's. So, all right, boys. We're gonna end it. Great show. Again, comicbookinvest.com for all your speculation needs. We'll see you guys next Monday. So, good show, boys. I'll talk to you guys later, I guess.
See you.
Thanks for listening.
Later.
Look.